In the world of finance, the Procure-to-Pay (P2P) cycle is a fundamental process that ensures smooth and efficient transactions. This vital framework touches every corner of a business, from procurement to payment. Today, we're placing the spotlight on a critical phase within this cycle: sourcing. Sourcing is the linchpin that connects businesses to their suppliers, setting the stage for effective relationships. So buckle up and stay tuned as we delve deeper into the sourcing phase of the P2P cycle. Before we dive into sourcing, it's essential to understand the larger P2P cycle. This cycle is a vital part of financial processes and consists of several key stages. It all begins with requisition, where the need for a product or service is identified. Once the need is established, a purchase order is created and sent to the supplier. Upon receiving the goods or services, a goods receipt is issued, followed by invoice processing. The cycle concludes with payment, closing the loop on the transaction. This cycle ensures a smooth flow from procurement to payment, establishing a systematic approach to managing supplier relationships. Now that we have the bigger picture, let's zoom in on the sourcing phase. So, what exactly is sourcing within the P2P cycle? Well, it's like being a detective in the world of procurement. Sourcing involves the identification, evaluation, and selection of suppliers to fulfill an organization's needs. Think of it as a procurement treasure hunt, where the treasure is a supplier who offers the best value for money, reliability, and quality. It's a critical stage in the P2P cycle, setting the foundation for effective supplier relationships. With a clear definition, we now move on to the components of sourcing. The sourcing phase is a complex process involving several key steps. Each one plays a vital role in establishing successful supplier relationships, and together they form the backbone of the sourcing phase. First up, we have supplier identification. This is where the hunt begins. It's all about researching and discovering potential suppliers who can fulfill the organization's procurement needs. It's like going on a treasure hunt, except here, the treasure is a reliable supplier. Next, we dive into supplier evaluation. This step is like doing a background check on a potential employee. It involves assessing the supplier's capabilities, financial stability, and performance history. This is crucial to ensure that the supplier can meet the organization's needs and standards. Then, we have the request for proposal or quotation stage, often referred to as the RFP or RFQ. This is where the organization issues formal requests to suppliers for pricing and terms. It's like asking for a detailed quote for a job you want to be done. Following this, we enter the negotiation stage. This is where the organization and the supplier engage in discussions to agree on terms, conditions, and pricing. It's a bit like haggling at a market, but with a lot more paperwork. The next step is contracting. This is where formal agreements are made with the selected suppliers through contracts. It's the stage where all the discussions and negotiations are put into writing, formalizing the relationship between the organization and the supplier. Finally, we have supplier selection. This is the culmination of all the previous steps. The organization chooses the most suitable suppliers based on the evaluation and negotiation processes. It's like picking the best team players after a series of tryouts. These steps are fundamental in ensuring a successful sourcing phase. They form a systematic approach to supplier identification, evaluation, and selection, setting the stage for a successful procure-to-pay cycle. Why is effective sourcing so crucial in the P2P cycle? You might be asking. Well, let's dive into that. Think of sourcing as the foundation of your procurement process. It's like casting a fishing line into the vast ocean of potential suppliers. You're trying to catch the best fish, but how do you know which one is right? That's where effective sourcing comes in. Firstly, sourcing is instrumental in selecting reliable suppliers. Without a solid sourcing process, you could end up with a supplier that's unreliable, causing disruptions that ripple through your entire supply chain. It's like getting a bad fish. It could spoil your whole catch. But with effective sourcing, you ensure you're dealing with suppliers that have a proven track record of delivery, quality, and financial stability. It's like having a fish finder that helps you spot the best fish in the ocean. Secondly, sourcing is your gateway to obtaining favorable terms and conditions. Without it, you might end up paying more for less. Effective sourcing is like a skilled fisherman who knows when and where to cast the line to get the best catch. Through thorough supplier evaluation, negotiation, and contracting, you can secure terms that benefit your organization. That could mean better prices, improved service levels, or more favorable payment terms. It's about making sure you're getting the most value from your catch. Lastly, sourcing plays a crucial role in the overall efficiency of your procurement process. An effective sourcing phase sets the stage for smoother operations down the line, from purchase order creation to invoice processing and payment. It's like having a well-oiled fishing reel that lets you reel in your catch smoothly and efficiently. So just as a fisherman relies on his skills and tools to catch the best fish, your organization relies on effective sourcing to navigate the vast ocean of suppliers. It's about finding the right suppliers, securing the best terms, and setting the stage for a successful P2P cycle. Clearly, effective sourcing is a cornerstone of a well-functioning P2P cycle. And just like a skilled fisherman, mastering this process will put you on the path to procurement success. Despite its importance, the sourcing phase is not without its challenges. This is a crucial point to remember as we navigate the world of procurement. One of the most common hurdles is finding suitable suppliers. With an ever-growing global market, identifying the perfect match for your business needs can feel like searching for a needle in a haystack. Moreover, after identifying potential suppliers, we face the task of evaluating them. This isn't just about financial stability and performance history, but also assessing their ethical standards, adherence to regulations, and their cultural fit with your organization. Skipping or rushing this step can lead to poor supplier performance, delivery issues, and even reputational risks. Next up is the negotiation process. Agreeing on terms, conditions, and pricing can be a complex and time-consuming process. It's like a dance where both parties need to find a rhythm that works. One misstep can lead to unfavorable terms or even breakdown of the negotiation. Another challenge is ensuring legal compliance in contracts. This is not just about adhering to current laws and regulations, but also being prepared for future changes. Failure to do so can result in legal implications, financial losses, and damage to your organization's reputation. Lastly, the sheer complexity and scope of the sourcing process can be a challenge in itself. It requires a significant amount of time, resources, and expertise. Overcoming these challenges is key, and here are some best practices. Remember, the journey might be tough, but the destination is worth it. Let's dive into how we can tackle these challenges head-on. Overcoming sourcing challenges is possible with the right strategies. Let's delve into some best practices that can help streamline your sourcing process. First, make use of supplier databases and industry contacts. These resources can significantly cut down the time spent on finding potential suppliers. Second, conduct thorough evaluations of your suppliers. This goes beyond financial stability and performance history. Consider factors such as ethical practices and environmental sustainability. Third, manage negotiations effectively. Remember, the goal is not just to get the lowest price, but to establish a mutually beneficial relationship. And finally, ensure all contracts undergo a legal review. This can help avoid complications down the line, keeping your procurement process smooth and compliant. By integrating these practices into your sourcing strategy, you can overcome common challenges and enhance your procurement process. Implementing these best practices can significantly improve your sourcing process. As we wrap up, let's revisit the key points discussed today. we've taken a deep dive into the procure-to-pay cycle, specifically focusing on the sourcing phase. Sourcing, as we've learned, is the process of identifying, evaluating, and selecting suppliers to meet an organization's procurement needs. This phase is critical, as it sets the tone for the rest of the P2P cycle. We've broken down the key components of sourcing, which include supplier identification, evaluation, request for proposal or quotation, negotiation, contracting, and finally, supplier selection. We also discussed the importance of sourcing, as it ensures the selection of reliable suppliers, aids in obtaining favorable terms and conditions, and contributes to overall efficiency. We acknowledge the challenges faced during sourcing, such as finding suitable suppliers and navigating negotiations, and shared some best practices to overcome these challenges. Remember, effective sourcing sets the stage for a successful P2P cycle. Thank you for joining us today to explore the sourcing phase of the P2P cycle. Your insights and experiences could light the path for many others, so feel free to drop a comment. If you're keen on delving deeper into the world of finance and procurement, don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more insightful content coming your way. Until next time, keep exploring and learning. Goodbye.